Good afternoon. How are you doing? Okay. What are we gathered here for? Celebration. Good. Ladies and gentlemen, on behalf of the Board of Governors, faculty, staff, and most importantly, our graduating candidates, I welcome all of you to our Fall 2022 Commencement ceremony. At this ceremony, we will confer degrees to the candidates from the College of Education, Health, and Human Studies, and the College of Science, Technology, Engineering, and Mathematics. We want to welcome you here today, especially those throughout the world who are watching today's event via our live stream. We are delighted we can be together to celebrate with our students and their family and friends, no matter where they are located. To begin, I want to ask you, our graduating candidates, to take a moment and reflect on your journey here. Today is a momentous accomplishment. Earning your degree has the potential to transform your future. Please think about what you have achieved. It is the result of many years of hard work, and you should be proud. You should be proud of that. Are you proud? Okay, let me know that you're proud. Say yes. Okay, now I believe you. Now I believe you. Today we celebrate the university's 149th year of service to the people of this region and beyond. And today we are conferring 1,071 degrees for fall and summer candidates who will be added to our roster of over 90,000 alumni since 1873. We will begin our ceremony with the national anthem performed by one of our students, Tyler Helm of Cape Girardeau, Missouri, who is a junior pursuing a Bachelor of Arts in Theater. Kindly stand and face the flag at the rear of the arena. Ladies and gentlemen, our national anthem.
Dawn's early light, what so broadly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and broad stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Thank you, Tyler. It is now my pleasure to introduce to you the individuals on our stage today. I would ask each of them to stand and remain standing as they are introduced, and I would like to ask the audience to hold your applause until all have been introduced. Ms. Tina Clockey of St. Louis, President of the Board of Governors. Mr. Jim Limbo of Cape Girardeau, Vice President of the Board of Governors. Mr. Lloyd Smith of Sykeston, member of the Board of Governors. Mr. David Martin of Bernie, member of the Board of Governors. Mr. Vivek Malik of St. Louis, member of the Board of Governors. The Honorable Roy Blunt, United States Senator from Missouri and our commencement speaker today. Dr. Mike Godard, Provost. Dr. Joe Peugeot, Dean, College of Education, Health, and Human Studies. Dr. Tamela Randolph, Dean, College of Science, Technology, Engineering, and Mathematics. Please join me in recognizing the members of our stage today. Please sit down. Candidates, it is wonderful to be here and celebrate this milestone with you. Today, you will receive a degree, but in the years since you first came to SEMO, you have acquired an education. You have acquired, among other things, the ability to learn how to learn. My hope for you all is that you put your abilities and skills to good use. I know you will continue to learn and seek knowledge and skills for the rest of your lives. Explore new ways of doing things and strive to be innovative in your thinking and your actions. As you know, at SEMO, we say that our students have the will to do, the commitment and heart to do what it takes to find success. When I think about why this will to do is important, I think about the words of Johann Wolfgang von Goethe, a German polymath, poet, and scientist who said, "Knowing is not enough. We must apply. Being willing is not enough. We must do." Now it's time for you to go and do. You are ready. Members of the audience, please join me in a round of applause for what this group of candidates has accomplished. That was a good try. Could we try again a little bit louder? Okay. Thank you. Today, members of our Board of Governors join me in recognizing your accomplishments. Here to bring you greetings from our board is its president, Ms. Tina Clockey. Ms. Clockey of St. Louis was appointed to the board by former Missouri Governor Eric R. Greitens in March 2018. She serves as the Chief Financial Officer and Chief Operation Officer for the Clark Fox Family Foundation. She is an accomplished finance and operations C-level executive with a distinguished career and a record of success in the startup and leadership of public and private corporations, generating $30 million to $500 million in annual revenues. Hired during the startup of Build-A-Bear Workshop as one of the 3 original full-time employees, Ms. Clockey is highly respected for helping Build-A-Bear Workshop become a leader in the retail make-your-own stuffed animal business. Since stepping down from her roles as Chief Financial Officer and Chief Operating Officer at Build-A-Bear Workshop in 2015, Ms. Clockey has continued to make an impact on the St. Louis region by serving as a mentor and advisor to startups throughout the St. Louis entrepreneurial community. She serves on a variety of boards, and in 2007, Ms. Clockey was named one of the 25 most influential women by the St. Louis Business Journal. Ms. Clockey holds a Bachelor of Science in Business Administration, specializing in accounting from Southeast Missouri State University. Ms. Clockey and her husband, Jim, are the parents of 2 sons, Jim and Michael. Please join me in welcoming the President of our Board of Governors, Ms. Tina Clocky.
Thank you, Dr. Vargas. Members of the class of 2022, I'm extremely pleased to represent Southeast Missouri State University Board of Governors. The Board of Governors is the governing body of the university and is comprised of 7 individuals and a student representative appointed by the governor. As a board, we are charged with appointing the president of the university, employing faculty and staff, and making budgetary and policy decisions necessary to implement the university's mission. My colleagues and I are committed to ensuring that you, our students, are among the best prepared in the world so you can successfully compete in today's global society and so you can help shape our future. Today, we are delighted to congratulate you on your academic accomplishments. Your hard work, intensive study, and commitment have paid off. We wish you the best of luck in your future endeavors, and we could not be more proud of your accomplishments. Now let me introduce to you one of my board colleagues here to introduce our speaker. Jim is the Vice President of the Board of Governors. Mr. Limbaugh of Cape Girardeau was appointed by Missouri Governor Mike Parsons in January 2019. This is Mr. Limbaugh's second term on the board. He previously served a 6-year term ending January 1st, 2013. His previous service followed an appointment by former Missouri Governor Matt Blunt. Mr. Limbaugh serves as a regional president and executive vice president of Montgomery Bank in Cape Girardeau. He previously served as executive vice president of planning and business development of Southeast Health Regional Healthcare System. He has a breadth of experience in the financial services industry, with his primary focus being on community banking. He has been the Chief Operating Officer, President of Commercial Banking, and Regional President of the Cape Girardeau Market with Montgomery Bank, a financial consultant with Merrill Lynch, Regional Executive with Region 5 of Nations Bank, and President and Chief Executive Officer of Boatman's National Bank of Cape Girardeau. He also served as a banking officer with Cape Mercantile Bank and Trust. In addition, Mr. Limbaugh is Chief Executive Officer of the Cape Catfish Baseball Team. Mr. Limbaugh is a member of the Red Hawks Club, past president of Southeast Missouri State University Booster Club Executive Committee, and an emeritus member of the Southeast Missouri University Foundation. He holds a Bachelor of Science in Business Administration with a marketing major and a Master of Arts in Teaching, both from Southeast State University. Mr. Limbaugh and his wife, Benita, both SEMO alums, are the parents of daughters Katie and Margaret and son JP, and they have 4 grandchildren. Please join me in welcoming Mr. Limbaugh.
Well, what a great time of year. Graduation and the holidays. A wonderful time to be here amongst you all and your families that help make this day possible. It is my honor to have the privilege to introduce our commencement speaker, Senator Roy Blunt. Building on a background as a public servant, university president, and teacher, United States Senator Roy Blunt was elected to the U.S. Senate in 2010. Senator Blunt serves as the chairman of the Senate Republican Policy Committee and as the top Republican of the Senate Rules Committee and the Appropriations Subcommittee on Labor, Health and Human Services, Education, and related agencies. He also serves on the Senate Commerce, Science, and Transportation Committees, and the Senate Select Committee on Intelligence. The people of Southwest Missouri overwhelmingly elected Senator Blunt 7 times to the United States House of Representatives, where he served early in his career as Majority Whip, and since being elected as our U.S. Senator, he served on several Senate leadership committees. Before serving in Congress, Senator Blunt was a history teacher, a county official, and in 1984 became the first Republican elected as Missouri's Secretary of State in more than 50 years. Senator Blunt also served 4 years as the president of Southwest Baptist University, his alma mater in Bolivar, Missouri. Senator Blunt earned an MA in history from Missouri State University. Senator Blunt is a member of the Smithsonian Council for American Art and is a trustee of the State Historical Society of Missouri. He is also a member of the Kennedy Center Board of Trustees. On a personal note, Senator Blunt is a fine man who has been very good at his job, and we are all the beneficiaries of that. Senator Blunt is married to Abigail Blunt and has 4 children: Matt, former governor, Amy, Andy, and Charlie. And Senator Blunt also has a whole slew of grandkids. So I would hope you would welcome me in introducing Senator Roy Blunt.
Well, thank you, Jim. It's great to be with you today. President Vargas doing a great job leading this great university, and it's a place I've spent a lot of time over the years, and I'm glad to be here again. In fact, I called President Vargas when he was named to be the president. I came to see him on the campus as quickly as I could after that, and at some point, I got a President Vargas t-shirt. I think it said maybe the inauguration of President Vargas, and with some frequency, I wear it in the gym in Washington, and with equal frequency, anytime I've got my President Vargas shirt on, somebody will ask me what country he is from. And I have a number of answers to that always end in he's the president at Southeast Missouri State University. I like graduation. I like commencement. I remember I was raised in the town I was raised in. My mom and dad were dairy farmers. About 300 people lived in our town, and about, 300 people went to our school. So we always knew everybody graduating, with maybe 1 or 2 exceptions, but we always went to graduation. I can't remember not going to high school graduation. I can remember being confused about whether it was why some people called it graduation and other people called it commencement. And then someday it finally dawned on me what both of those things were, and I still love both of those things. You know, graduation celebrates an accomplishment. Commencement celebrates the ability to do something with it. So we're ending one thing here today, and we're doing another. We're also, here today, we have the important inclusion of the power of example. You know, people are watching you today. If you're the first person in your family to graduate from college, as I was, and as many of you are, people are seeing this, and in your family, if it's your first person to graduate, some the people are seeing this, they're wondering how you did it. They're thinking, frankly, some of them, if you could do it, surely they could do it. Others are wondering if they quite measure up to what it took for you to get this done. If you're a single parent, you're a working mom, you're people watching this, and they're wondering how you're doing it. A lot of people have not only been watching, but other people, in most cases, have been helping. You know, maybe it's your spouse, maybe it's your parents, maybe it's somebody at the place you needed to work to get this done who was able to be flexible with their schedule so your schedule would work, but it's an important thing. Now, as Jim Limbaugh mentioned, for 4 years, I was the president at Southwest Baptist University in Bolivar, Missouri, and I think we had 3 graduations every year. And so I asked 12 people to speak at graduations, and they would almost always ask, well, what should I talk about? And I'd say, look, it really doesn't matter what you talk about. The only thing that really matters is how long you talk. I said, there are no good 30-minute graduation speeches. And there are likely to be no bad 12-minute graduation speeches. So just so you know, that's the outside window, and I'm going to count the time I've already talked in that 12 minutes. So it's a really exciting time to be where you are today. Change is coming rapidly, faster than ever before. Anticipating how you're going to do what you're going to do 10 years from now, 20 years from now, really hard to anticipate. Anticipating what our economy is going to look like a decade from now, pretty hard to anticipate. You know, one of the things I was talking to the president about this morning is beginning to connect with the National Geospatial Agency in St. Louis, where, among other things, they watched the head of Al-Qaeda walking in the garden. They drew up what they thought the building looked like, and then watched as things happened to bring to justice the person who had planned 9/11. But the overhead architecture is going to get more and more important all the time. The whole so-called geowant part of the economy, the location part of the economy, watching what's going to happen, trying to figure out what you can figure from looking over and over again at the same place and what's happening there different than the day before. I had some people in my office the other day talking about working with poor farmers, generally in Africa, and also spending about $20 million a month to try to have weather satellites available. So they're making calls that say, if you're going to, and they call somebody who then goes to see the farmer, if you're going to plant this crop this year that we believe you're planting, you need to do it in the next 10 days. Because if you don't get it done in the next 10 days, you won't be able to do it for 3 weeks after that, and then it'll be too late. Or they're going saying, you know, the things you normally grow on your farm, this year you should be growing more of this and less of that, because the weather is, predictable weather is going to be different than it normally is. In agriculture, a big part of southeast Missouri, world food demand going to double between 2010 and 2060. Took us about 10,000 years to figure out how to grow all the food we grow today. We've got 50 years to figure out how to grow twice that much food. So whether it's overhead architecture, or agriculture, or healthcare, you know, we just figured out in the last 20 years how to look at the human genome, and every one of us is different than all of the rest of us. And what does that mean, and what do you learn from that? How do you change your health care because of that? I've chaired a committee in the Congress, and I know Mr. Limbaugh read a lot of committees with long titles, but this was the committee that funds all the healthcare research in America. And as I started chairing that committee, one of the other senators said, there's this project, can't quite figure out what they're doing. It's the University of Pennsylvania in Philadelphia, but they tell me, as the chair of this committee, a committee that hadn't added one penny to healthcare research in 12 years, and I had just got on the committee the first time and was getting on as the chairman, you need to come and see it. So I said, I'll go, but you need to go with me. So Pat Toomey and I went to the University of Pennsylvania, and there was a project. This is 8 years ago. 72 people they were working with all had leukemia, from a 10-year-old girl to a 70-year-old man. And what they were doing was changing their blood structure so the part of the blood that you had that fights back, and everybody has fighting back capacity in their system for any disease, but most diseases overwhelm that capacity, particularly cancer and leukemia. So they were trying to figure out how you could just keep increasing the part of you that would fight back, in that case, to leukemia. And they did. And something called immunotherapy within 3 years was on the checklist for every blood cancer as, should we do this? And the answer is often yes, and it makes a difference. Didn't exist 8 years ago. It existed as an idea, but it didn't exist as part of healthcare. It won't be too long before more likely that your healthcare provider will call you than you will call them. Many people already are wearing a watch or some sort of patch or something to keep track of something that they're watching, particularly in their healthcare. Well, everybody will probably be wearing something like that. And somebody from your doctor, and probably won't even be your doctor initially, will call and say, we're seeing the same things happen today that we're concerned about. Let's talk about your day. And that conversation may very well end, well, let's do telemedicine, which nobody was doing just a few years ago. Let's have a telemedicine visit, or we need you to come in and see us right now. But in that case, you didn't call the doctor called you. Synthetic biology, anything with a DNA formula can be recreated in ways we didn't think it could be created before. And all this is kind of spiraling. 3D printing, combination of synthetic biology and 3D printing with a DNA for what you might be able to build a ponderosa pine house on the moon, and you create all of it right there, and maybe you 3D print it right there. So what a great time to commence. What a great time to start. Every graduate here has the potential to be 100 years old and more, and I hope you do. No telling what you'll be telling your grandchildren, like, everybody used to have their own car, and they even drove it, and they kept it at their house. 100 years from now, that may be a pretty big story to try to tell to that generation. You know, every time has its challenges. This is my last few days in the Congress. In 26 years in the Congress, I've cast 13,000 votes. And looking back, most of them still pretty good, but a lot of people don't think so. You know, everything has its challenges. In Ukraine right now, the challenge of fighting the tyranny of the Russian army, and more importantly, not the Russian people, but the Russian leader. COVID was a big challenge for us. We kind of guessed our way through something that hadn't happened in 100 years, and we were right more than we were wrong. Previous record for producing a vaccine was 3 years. We produced one in 90 days. So they are challenges we face. America is always a work in progress. We are better than we have been. We are not all we hope to be. In the Constitution, they said we're working to form a more perfect union. Perfect is hard to get. More perfect than yesterday is possible. Today, we're celebrating the more perfect part of your life as graduates. Your family's proud of you. I'm proud of you. The school is proud of you. Congratulations.
Thank you, Senator Blunt, for those thoughtful remarks. We sincerely appreciate you joining us today to deliver the commencement address and to congratulate our candidates. Please join me again in thanking Senator Blunt for his remarks. In November, the Board of Governors approved the conferral of the Vanderbilt Show Me State Award to Senator Blunt for his public service and commitment to Southeast Missouri State University. The Vanderbilt Show Me State Award was created by Southeast's governing board in 1997 to recognize outstanding contributions to the institution, the region, and the state, either by individuals or corporate entities. Senator Blunt is the 6th recipient of this award. The award is named after Southeast's 5th president, Willard Duncan Vandiver, who left his position to become congressman from Missouri's 10th, 14th district. History suggests it was Congressman Vandiver who gave Missouri its Show Me State nickname. In a speech in Philadelphia in 1899, Vandiver declared, "I come from a state that raises corn and cotton, and cockleburs and Democrats, and frothy eloquence neither convinces me nor satisfies me. I am from Missouri. You have got to show me." The nickname has been a part of the Missouri landscape for over a century. Senator Blunt is a worthy recipient of the Vandiver Show Me State Award. He has worked alongside 7 Southeast presidents, and he has been a tireless advocate for the university. From his time as a history teacher to his role as president of Southwest Baptist University to his advocacy as a United States Senator, Senator Blunt has sponsored countless education initiatives. As a leader of the Labor, Health and Human Services Appropriations Subcommittee, Senator Blunt has prioritized resources to promote college access, affordability, and completion. And he successfully worked to restore year-round Pell Grants and secured 5 consecutive funding increases in the maximum Pell Grant Award. In addition to enhancing access to higher education, Senator Blunt has worked to enhance Southeast Missouri State University as well. Specifically, he helped secure $1.5 million in federal resources for the SEMO Law Enforcement Academy and $1.8 million for the university's unmanned aircraft systems and the professional pilot programs. Senator Blunt is also working very aggressively to secure $10 million to help build the new health science building on campus. It is our honor to present Senator Roy Blunt with the Vandiver Show Me State Award for his support of Southeast Missouri State University. Thank you, Senator. Okay, so are we ready? Finally, right? Okay. Don't be too impatient. Don't be too impatient. So at this point, I would like to invite Provost Goddard to the podium to begin the individual recognition of graduating students.
Thank you, Dr. Vargas. Ladies and gentlemen, in the front of your program is a list of candidates who have earned various academic honors. Students who have earned Latin honors or completed the Jane Stevens Honors Program will have that information displayed below their name on the scoreboard as they cross the stage. A red cord worn over the left shoulder denotes an undergraduate student who has earned a perfect 4.0 cumulative grade point average. That is, they earned a grade of A in every college course they ever took. In the 149-year history of the university, only 921 of the more than 90,000 graduates earned the right to wear the red cord. Among summer and fall 2022 graduate candidates, a total of 194 students earned that recognition, and a number of them are with us today. I call your attention to their names in the program, and at this time, I ask those 4.0 candidates attending this ceremony to please stand and be recognized. Thank you. You may be seated.
So 4.0, wow, that means an A in every, typically a student would take about 40 courses. 4.0 means an A in every one of those 40 courses. That's impressive. So what I'd like to do is ask you all, who, and raise your hand, who thinks that I got a 4.0 in college? Wow. You do know me. You do know me well, so I did not get a 4.0. So at this point, let's proceed.
Thank you. I thought more were going to raise their hand, Doctor.
Nobody did. Yeah.
The candidates are listed in the program according to the college of their major and will proceed to the stage. Will the candidates please join the marshals at the foot of the stage at this time? Marshals, please escort the candidates for graduation to the stage.
Camille Anastasia Carroll.
Aaron Samuel Bryant.
Shane Michael Gordon.
Fatima Yasmin Ruhi.
Gabriel Subacha Noche.
Sajid Vidaranga Silva Wisidagamaji.
Drew Francis Armitage.
Tony Rushing.
Emily Grace Sachs.
Nicholas Jeffrey Jacobek.
Kiara Mays.
Ashley Christine Ziegler.
Carrie Jo Weiss.
Chloe Corinne Vogel.
Allison Joy Lemkool.
Alicia Helen Arabella Giltner.
Caitlin Smith.
Bryant M. Lowell.
Elizabeth Ann Kleesner Moser.
Allison Nicole Elking.
Anna Marie Paulus.
Candace M. Hyder.
Alini Yui Taylor.
Jennifer Iguadima Paul.
Dekaria Lee.
Brooke Lynn Heeb.
Benjamin Ray Doris.
Joshua Michael Koenig.
Ethan Stewart Ponder.
Carla Jean Ketcherside.
Abby Brooke Williams.
Olivia Lenicky.
Micah Nicole Jackson.
Reagan Nicole Wombold.
Carrie Nicole Pepple.
Peyton Michael Abels.
Haley Nicole Clapper.
Grace Jean Schroeder.
Adriana Sanchez.
Marissa E. Wright.
Christy Chobanian.
Brandon L. Vines.
Rohit Katkuri.
Pavan Kumar Vinkapa Bajentry.
Parviz Iskandaro. I tried.
Yuva Krishna Ramala.
Satyadeep Anamola.
Sierra Nicole Adkins.
Sarah Louise Wilson.
Hannah Elizabeth Irwin.
Cameron Lee Merago.
Akam Saif Chaduri.
Taylor Elizabeth Festi.
Marcella Elaine Malave.
Brenna Kylie Anderson.
Margaret Rose Oster.
Caitlin Rogers.
Madison Lee Krieg.
Sophie Ani Gitlin.
Savannah Ann Womack.
Emma Grace Graham.
Trey C. Pritchard.
Seth Thomas Bowman.
Zachary Edward O'Neill.
Sarah M. Weibel.
Ashlyn Brianne Davis.
Sean Robert Lohman.
Timira Lee Brown.
Lucas Cole Watson.
Molly Suzanne Hatcher.
Leah Ann Gimbel.
Joshua Mark.
Andrew Kenneth Reardon.
Landon Michael Haas.
Jordan Todd Goodson.
Jacqueline Dawn Kiger.
Crystal Dawn Champion.
Olivia Sperlin.
Alyssa Janae Spencer.
Holly Linenbringer.
Christine Nall.
Madeline Claire McPherson.
Emma Masterson.
Ashley Henrich.
Hannah Lynn Wiegers.
Cole Tyler Neighbors.
Abigail Jean Zwissler.
Ashley Lane Hinkle.
Jenna Catherine Schaefer.
Jada Danielle Lauer.
Dylan Jackson Lauer.
Braden Scott Atterbury.
Sydney Nicole Peterson.
Reagan Noel Shear.
Caitlin Jean Meacham.
Mandy Nicole Howell.
Chloe Heicha.
Georgia Miranda.
Jasmine Marie Jones.
Shelby Elizabeth Colsey.
Caroline Patricia Pacheco.
Kirsten L. Sparks.
Leah King.
Elmarie Burkhead.
Maria Lauren Guerrero.
Caroline Michelle Beatty.
Madeline Lee Deber.
Madison Lee Braccato.
William Michael Christopher.
Demetre T. Hodges.
Ernest Ayeko Orego.
Aaron Chase Taylor.
Hannah Marie Eastman.
Madison Amelia Miller.
Abigail Eileen Farless.
Julia Faith Riley.
Paige Christine Emmendorfer.
Cole August Emmendorfer.
Amber Lynn Dukes.
Kylie Brooke Plant.
Turner James Fritz.
Craig Austin Beck.
Catherine Elizabeth Tangen.
Tasia Woods.
Lexus Ray Pointer.
Logan M. Olison.
Emma J. Durbin.
Malsha Nanakarya.
Miranda Michelle Hines.
Genesis Michaela Kalenbeck.
Sylvia Ruth Schrader.
Katie Jo Hibbets.
Bryce Michael Perkins.
Casey Lynn Ertzfeld.
Onje Almone.
Edward Braxton Hayes Zivic IV.
Destiny Renee Lowe.
Samantha Sloan Hager.
Macy Rendelman.
Daniel Cormick.
Francine Parker.
Sanskriti Gokel.
Fatima Jamali.
Zoe Beasley.
Sierra Chloe Van Olden.
Chloe Melina Shearer.
Lauren Elizabeth Partney.
Caleb Joseph Strauss.
Richard Allen Romine II.
Francis Cabrera Ramirez.
Carmen Ray Price.
Ebony Barbara Hill.
Austin Thomas Cook.
Craig Armani Beasley.
Kayla Ann Fisher.
Chelsea Lene Pena.
Sophia Grace Buzzard.
Rebecca Dean.
Jonathan Frederick Sieveking.
Gracie Lynn Kamer.
Rayleigh Layton Metcalf.
Amanda Louise Kistler.
Caitlin Elizabeth George.
Alyssa Nicole Ramsey.
Taylor Reynolds.
Emily Louise Strickland.
Allison Grace Knaust.
Ellen Elise Miller.
Leighton Eduardo Vasilac Rodriguez.
Lauren Bell Reefsteck.
Caitlin Goodman.
Emily Renee Type.
Alexandria Mary Wallace.
Ryan Christopher Tampow.
Trenton Francis Linderer.
Nolan G. Schwint.
Tyler Anthony Amos.
Zachary Earl Oftenberg.
Caleb William Oftenberg.
Kylie Isabel Watson.
Christina Ling.
Victoria Elizabeth Davis.
Gabrielle Dubis.
Zoe Elizabeth Lannert.
Luna Ivy Boggs.
Jenna Ray Kelmel.
Ian Graves.
Alyssa Joy Wiggins.
Hannah Cardi Lisk.
Abigail Braun.
Laura Grace Brown.
Colton Lane Gibson.
Luke David Walter.
Natalie Margaret Williams.
Peyton K. Robertson Turner.
Lauren Grace Wadlington.
Alyssa Paige Nolan.
Madison Lane Hayden.
Megan Nicole Teando.
Megan Elizabeth Henneman.
Melanie Danielle Lincoln.
Brittany Michelle Helton.
Allison Grace Vaughn.
Julia Therese Colfeld.
Alyssa Marie Boland.
Ty William Wilthong.
Ashley Nicole Welk.
Lillian Sierra Wendell.
Melissa Lee Dulum.
Emily Page Smith.
Courtney Elizabeth Watson.
Mackenzie Barbara Woolner.
Victoria Marie Muniz.
Natalie Ann Miller.
Abigail Marie Tremaine.
Taylor Lucille Bauer.
Ellie Marie Capitelli.
Tyler Flesher.
Riley Joy Wade.
Abby Renee Coronado.
Danyang Wang.
Justin Ali Katabi.
Chrisana Smith.
India Smith.
Naila Abdul Mumin.
We're taking a minute or so to allow the students to get, otherwise they won't get their degrees conferred, right? Because they'll be back there. Okay, guys, you're too serious. Are you tired? The nursing students are tired. They started at 8. Ready?
At this time, I ask all candidates for master's and specialist degrees to please stand and remain standing. President Vargas, I present to you these candidates who have completed the requirements for their respective degrees and who have been recommended by the faculty and approved by the Board of Governors. They are now presented to you for the conferring of their degrees.
Thank you, Provost Godard. Upon the recommendation of the faculty and by the authority vested in me by the Board of Governors of Southeast Missouri State University, I hereby confer upon each of you the appropriate degree, together with all the rights, privileges, and responsibilities thereunto appertaining. Congratulations, graduates. Please be seated.
I now ask all candidates for associate and bachelor's degrees to please stand and remain standing. President Vargas, these candidates have completed the requirements for their respective degrees and have been recommended by the faculty and approved by the Board of Governors. They are now presented to you for the conferring of their degrees.
Thank you, Provost Godard. Upon the recommendation of the faculty and by the authority vested in me by the Board of Governors of Southeast Missouri State University, I hereby confer upon each of you the appropriate degree, together with all the rights, privileges, and responsibilities thereunto appertaining. Congratulations. Now, graduates, please move your tassel from the right side to the left side of the cap to signify the conferral of your degree. Could all of the graduates, please stand up? Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you the newest graduates of Southeast Missouri State University. Please join me in thanking them and congratulating them. So graduates, it is your turn to thank your families and relatives. So look at them, find them in the audience, and thank them for what they have done for you. Please be seated. So many people play a part in planning and conducting a commencement ceremony. I want to thank the members of our commencement committee for their hard work to ensure that today's ceremony was successful. We also want to thank our outstanding readers, and they were really outstanding. Gina Koch, Assistant Professor in the Department of Nursing, and Pamela Gershoni, Professor in the Department of Marketing. Please join me in thanking them for their hard work. So college graduates, yes, college graduates. You are now a college graduate, each one of you, and you are now officially alumni of Southeast Missouri State University. You added now to those 90,000 alumni that I mentioned before we have. So you're part of a community of proud Southeast graduates. Take advantage of the alumni network. I encourage you to reach out to other Southeast alumni and connect with them. You would be surprised to know how many successful careers start by connecting with alumni from Southeast. Also, make sure to remain in touch with our alumni office and with the Office of Career Services. You will now be launching your new careers, facing new opportunities and challenges. We hope the knowledge and skills we have helped you acquire will serve you no matter your path. Remember, wherever your path takes you, you're always a Red Hawk, and we will always be here when you need us. At Southeast, we employ more than 1,000 regular faculty and staff, and 80% of our faculty have the highest academic credential in their field. Each of them is committed to helping students learn and grow intellectually. Many of our faculty and staff were also students at Southeast and sat in the same chairs that you're sitting in today. Well, not the same, but they work daily to continue their professional development, to advance in their discipline, and to help you succeed. Our faculty are the reason Southeast has been granted over 30 program-specific accreditations, which speaks to the quality of the degrees being granted here today. Several of our faculty and staff are here today to celebrate with you and wish you well as you leave Southeast and begin your careers. Their commitment to your welfare, both academically and personally, takes them well beyond the requirements of their jobs. At this time, I would ask all members of our faculty and staff to please stand and be recognized. Audience, I think they deserve a bigger clap. Come on, make it very loud. Yes. Thank you. So, we're almost there. Okay, not too long, right? However, just before we finish, I would like to end really by sharing a brief poem. I have shared this poem at previous graduation ceremonies because it reflects my sentiments and feelings as you graduate and begin a new stage in your life. It's a brief poem. The poem is called Come to the Edge. Edge, you know, like next to a cliff. It is said to have been written by English poet Christopher Logue. Please pay close attention. As I said, it's brief. Come to the edge, he said. We can't, we're afraid, they responded. Come to the edge, he said. We can't, we will fall, they responded. Come to the edge, he said. And so they came, and he pushed them, and they flew. Okay, I'm going to say it one more time. Now, pay attention. It goes quickly. Come to the edge, he said. We can't, we're afraid, they responded. Come to the edge, he said. We can't, we will fall, they responded. Come to the edge, he said, and so they came. and he pushed them, and they flew. Isn't that wonderful? So today you have come to the edge, and we're pushing you. Now extend your wings, Red Hawks, and soar. So this is the last time. These moments come and go quickly, right? They come and go. So a few years from now, you're going to be thinking back about this event. And so I want to make sure that you remember how you celebrated. So please give me one more round of applause for these graduates that are just finishing today. So we will now conclude our celebration with the performance of our alma mater. After that, I ask you that you remain seated while the stage party and graduates exit the arena. The words of our alma mater are printed in your program, and once again, we are joined by Tyler Helm. Would you please rise?
High above the Mississippi, ageless in majestic flow, rise thy halls in native grandeur, beacon light to all below. Cape Girardeau, alma mater, forward press unceasingly in thy quest for truth untrammeled, till humanity is free.
Please.